Okay, guys, we're going to talk about another genetic disease. Remember, many genetic diseases in humans are due to recessive alleles of autosomal genes, although some genetic diseases are due to dominant or codominant alleles, okay? We're going to talk about now Huntington's disease. What is that? It's a brain disorder that affects a person's ability to think, talk, and move. Huntington's disease is caused by a mutation in a gene on chromosome number 4 in humans, okay? So we need to think about this. Here I have the answer, but I'm going to show you this one first because we don't know if dominant or a recessive condition. Is this disorder autosomal or sex-linked? So remember, we have 23 chromosomes, pair of chromosomes as humans, 46 chromosomes, but just 22 pairs are autosomic chromosomes and just one pair, X and Y, are sexual chromosomes. So that gene is if that Huntington disease is produced because of mutation in chromosome 4 is an autosomal or sex link. I don't know, right? Produce a Punnett square to explain the inheritance pattern in a diagram. We're going to do that. I'm going to explain how to do that. So you have a very clear information here about Huntington's disease. Remember that in biology, we need to know when we have a picture, we need to know what that picture is explaining to us, and we need to know how to explain that picture too. Okay, you have a mom, you have a dad, chromosome with a normal copy of gene. Okay, as you can see here, but the dad has something, chromosome with defective copy of a gene. So something is not good with that gene, okay? So that is the person that is affected. Which are the possible combinations in this case? If you see 50% has normal condition, 50% has been affected by this disease, okay? Each child inherits a normal copy from mom and either a normal or a defective copy from dad. That's why it's 50-50. That is the probability. Okay, so let's answer this. Is a dominant or recessive condition? Dominant. Individuals are affected with only a single mutated allele. Is this disorder autosomal or sex-linked? Autosomal, because as I told you, it's in chromosome number 4. Okay, the Punnett grid is in the following slide. So we have the Huntington's disease and the Punnett grid. Okay, we're going to make a cross to know how are the conditions, the phenotypical characteristics, the genotype, phenotype, and phenotype ratio. So you have mother, the father, the mother has normal condition. How do you know that? Because you have to read the key to alleles. T, remember that it's caused by a dominant one. T, uppercase T is the dominant mutated allele. In this case, in this disease, remember the cystic fibrosis was the opposite. So we have the lowercase t is a normal gene. As you can see, these are the alleles from that woman, from that man, and we need to do the cross. We have male, female, and we need to do the cross. Let's check. Have to cross uppercase, lowercase, 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 and the same. So what are the probabilities? The genotypes, 50% Huntington's disease because it's dominant, and the recessive ones are going to express a normal condition. So if we have 50 and 50, we have a ratio of 1:1. Why? Because we will divide 50 divided by 50, we have 1, and 50 divided by 50, 1, okay? That's how you calculate phenotype ratio. Therefore, 50% chance of having a child with Huntington's disease. So that was another example of Huntington's disease caused by a dominant allele, okay? Then we have another type of diseases, okay? Some genetic diseases are sex-linked. The pattern of inheritance is different with sex-linked genes due to their location on sex chromosomes. Remember the sex chromosomes that we have is X and Y. This is the X chromosome, as you can see here, and this is the Y chromosome, it's shorter. Remember, we have fewer genes in these sections. The sex chromosomes are non-homologous. There are many genes on the X chromosome. What is that? Non-homologous, that we don't have in this gene. In this chromosome, we don't have the same genes in that position, okay? Because both are different. So they are not autosomal genes. Okay, there are many genes on the X chromosome, as you can see, because we have more DNA not part, which are not present on the Y chromosome. So both are different. They are non-homologous. They are not the same. Sex-linked traits are those which are carried on the X chromosome in the non-homologous region, okay? So again, sex-linked traits are those which are carried on the X chromosome in the non-homologous regions. So we have regions that we don't have in common, so that those are the sex-linked traits. Remember, because female, they have some sexual traits, and male, they have another ones, okay? Alleles in these regions are expressed whether they are dominant or recessive, as there is no alternate allele carried on the Y chromosome. Therefore, sex-linked genetic disorders are more common in males, okay? Genetic disorders are more common in males. So, examples of sex-linked genetic disorders, we have hemophilia and color blindness, okay? What number do you see, guys? I don't see any number. What is the number that you see? I see a 5. I see a 5. This one is bigger. So why? Why do we need to know that? X and Y chromosomes are not homologous. This is the Y chromosome, the X chromosome. As you can see, we have different genes. These Y sections are genes there, and they're not homologous to the other ones, okay? Okay, what number do you see? If you see a 5, you have a normal vision. If you see a 2, you have red-green color blindness. That is a genetic disorder caused by a genetic disease caused by a sex-linked disorder. Okay, I hope all of you see the 5. I know that is very clear. So how is color blindness inherited? The red-green gene is carried at locus. This is the position. Remember, this is the name of the position. Locus is this, the position. In this case, this is the position of the gene that was affected. This locus is in the non-homologous region, as you can see, non-homologous region, because we don't have more regions in the X chromosome, in the Y chromosome. So there is no corresponding gene or allele on the Y chromosome. Normal vision is dominant over color blindness is dominant, okay? So we have normal female, why the X? Because we're talking about the X chromosome. Normal female, they have that kind of condition. Normal male, they have that kind of condition. But remember, this gene is not present in the Y chromosome. Now, affected, we're going to, is caused by a recessive one, so lowercase n. Affected female, X and X, and affected male. This is an affected male. We have the lowercase n here. But remember, again, we don't have an allele here. And this one, carrier female. So it's a sex-linked disorder caused by a female that is the carrier, okay? If we have this kind of alleles with a dominant and non-dominant, the recessive one, we have a carrier female. Human females can be homozygous. Remember, homozygous, they have the same alleles. Or heterozygous, like this in this case, uppercase, lowercase, with respect to sex-linked genes, okay? Heterozygous females are carriers. They don't have the disease. They don't present the disease, but they can inherit that disease, okay? And then we have, sorry for the case, we have the Punnett grid. We're going to work with this in class. But first, we have, what do we have? We have the parents here, carrier female, normal male. So we have to write those in the Punnett grid, make the cross. Okay, you have to be sure what are you crossing and what is the phenotype and genotype from these genes. Okay, we have a normal female, remember that normal male. Then we have a carrier female because these are heterozygous, and we have an affected male. So there is a 1 in 4 chance on an unaffected child, okay? Because this is the carrier, she's not going to have the disease, but the male, the child that is a male is going to have the disease. Why do we have this red, green, and color blindness? Because they are responsible for producing photoreceptive pigments, this gene, okay? Photoreceptive pigments are created by this gene, the cone cells in the eye. If one of these genes is affected or is mutated, the pigments are not going to be produced, and that's why we have a different ratio, wavelength of light that is going to be seen, okay? So thank you guys, I see you in class.